contacts. Oh, come on now, D. You know I won't tell Mama. I won't tell Mama if you give me a quarter. D was always holding him up for a quarter. Otherwise, he'd be in big trouble. And then Rerun would come in and go, we just came from the hockey game. Who won? I don't know, but I saw icing. Where was I going with Jump the Shark?
I don't know.
Jump the Shark has negative connotations because...
We were talking about cartoons.
Oh, every cartoon jumps the shark when they bring someone in from the future to hang with your main guy.
Like Kazoo.
Kazoo on the Flintstones. Alice the Goon from Popeye was this weird drawing that like the guy did on a cocktail nap, and they just jammed it in.
Amazing looking.
Yeah.
Pretty stunning.
And we all know someone that looks just like Alice the Goon. They're usually network executives. But then on the Flintstones, like, you got to realize they bring in the great Kazoo, voiced by
Harvey Korman.
There you go. Yeah. That's a real one, by the way.
Yeah. Yes.
Teddy Roosevelt invented Harvey Korman.
He did. And he would always bust.
In Rosa Parks' laboratory.
Roosevelt could not get through a take.
No, he always laughed.
Always bust, yeah.
When Teddy Roosevelt was on the Carol Burnett show, Harvey Korman really had his
number. When Harvey Korman would bust, they would call it pulling a Roosevelt.
Yes. Where's his monument? I guess Mount Rushmore is about as monumental as it gets. What a fucking...
Let's blow up a mountain.
I am
and make
a
it look
jerk.
like a dude.
I'm like, where's his monument? He was a... Oh, never mind. It's a mountain. They took a mountain and fucking let 1,000 men die of dysentery and heights.
Look at this beautiful thing.
Just to get a fucking monocle somehow carved into granite. Oy. The Flintstones had the great Kazoo.
I just like the fact, I'm sorry, I can't get off Mount Rushmore real quick. The fact that somebody looked at a mountain and said, I can make that better. I can make that better. I got an idea.
You know someone didn't make the cut. You know, like there was one guy.
John Adams.
Yeah, or no, like somebody worse. Like, come on, Garfield? We're not going to put Garfield? Not the cat, the president.
Humphrey.
Yeah.
It's just his spirit is up there just.
Oh, guys, I mean, James Polk, it's really a quiet presidency, but that's what makes it so great. The peaceful transference of power.
He's actually on the other side.
What four guys are on the others? Or is it just their asses?
And he's looking down at like a paper or something.
Is it? That's the fundamental question. Are there four faces on the other side of the mountain, or is it the four guys' asses
it's like the Easter
sticking
Island
out?
guys. Have you heard about this?
No.
They're full figures.
Oh, and they're buried?
They're not just head. Yeah, the whole body.
Is that
buried.
true?
Yes.
And they just discovered that?
And they're now digging them out.
Why fuck with it?
I don't know.
They always got to...
Well, you got to see.
They always have to bugger it and burgle it.
Or if that's exact... But if you think about it, the guys that put them there was screwing with the land in the first place.
Who's on the other side of Mount Rushmore?
Exactly. Was it... well, no, I like...
Reagan.
Reagan, yes.
Well, it has to be... I got to put Truman. Truman could go up with the guy... He's my favorite.
Yeah.
Truman... Mm-hmm. I mean, if we're going to do it comedically, we can go another direction.
Yeah, but if you want to honestly have a...
You go like John Amos. We'll start there.
Michael Ironsides.
John Amos, Jan Michael Vincent,
yes.
Ed Molinaro.
And Jason Hervey.
Jason Hervey?
Yeah.
So there's 5 guys on the other side.
Yes. It's a big mountain.
You need an extra guy for the weight to keep the other heads tilted up.
Yes. Well, their bodies go all the way into the ground.
They do.
So it's balanced.
But it's very hard because they're all different heights.
Well, Roosevelt's standing on a box.
He has to be because Lincoln's like 7'2".
That box is pure granite.
Whenever Lincoln blocked legislation, he did a finger wag like the Kembe Mutombo.
He said, mm-mm.
I don't think so, baby girl. Somewhere at the network, when the Flintstones were on, they got together and said, we're lacking that punch we used to have. Maybe if there was a Martian that flew around that only they could see. Ooh.
I got an idea.
Yeah.
I got an idea.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Just go like a kazoo or something. Great kazoo.
Well, is it so that they could cross-pollinate with the Jetsons by that point?
Yeah, but he wasn't on the Jetsons.
He should have been.
Yeah, he had
He's
the
like
Jetsons
out of that
helmet.
era,
He
right?
has like a tiny George...
And when he moved, didn't it go...
He has an exact tiny George Jetson drawing. But
Janie!
Ooh, hello, dum-dum. And, like, that was somebody's idea.
Didn't Alan...
Thicke?
No, Alan Cummings
Alan
played
Havey?
him in the Flintstones movie?
I don't know, but it'd be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
We need more Alan Cummins, period. Yeah, we need
Talented
to do
cat.
Cabaret the movie,
Talented cat.
and he has to be the MC in the movie Cabaret done by Sam Mendes.
Well,
right?
He could have been a great Willy Wonka.
Oh my God! I can't wait to tell my wife you said that.
Do that as a Broadway show and get Alan Cumming to play Willy Wonka.
We were recast.
It's essentially what he did in Spy Kids. Really, was Wonka.
Spy Kids 2.
Was that 2? That Alan Cumming was in?
Oh, I don't know. I was
one.
trying to make a gag.
No, he's in 1.
We were trying to figure out. We love playing Cast That Movie.
Yep.
And recast that movie.
Uh-huh.
But we were like, who's going to play Liz and Dick? Who's going to play Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor? And I think my wife and I crushed it. But I want to hear who you. We had Russell Brand and Charlize Theron as
That's
Richard.
interesting.
Because you need someone with the gravitas to be him, and with that fire, that turmoil inside.
Right.
We thought of Colin Farrell.
And wasn't he much older than her, though?
Yeah, I mean, just makeup.
It's just that easy.
What do you
want?
want?
Then I could play him.
Gary Sinise has legs.
Yes, he does. What?
Yes.
E.T.'s a puppet?
Well, I don't know about that. I know what I saw, dude. But Gary Sinise I saw once, and that motherfucker had legs. And I'm like, whoa, Forrest Gump was bullshit.
Yeah, it was
that
a hoax.
motherfucker had no legs.
Yeah.
Now, either they've been doing stem cell behind my back,
Growing legs?
or they faked his legs out.
I don't think people are like, it's like you have to be starfish DNA.
Who do you got for Liz and Dick?
Well, Charlize Theron's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
That's a good one. But then you could also go, well, no. Because if you're like, do they need to look like them? Or you saying,
Charlize Theron has proved she can look like, she looks
anybody.
like,
Yeah, she's a monster. She's great.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Are you okay with Russell Brand?
Yeah, I don't know how deep his.
He's in The Tempest.
Oh, he's a talented cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't think of it that way. But I guess, yeah.
If you were going to recast Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Right.
Who you got?
You could go, so you want...
That was Richard Burton, Elizabeth Taylor,
right.
Sandy Dennis,
right,
and the guy that nobody always knows his name. The guy from the sitcom.
I like Kate Blanchett can kind of do no wrong.
Who does she play? Liz Taylor?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking Kate Beckinsale. I'm like, that's horrible.
Kate Blanchett.
But I'll play along.
Kate Blanchett, she can kind of do no wrong.
Give mommy a big sloppy kiss. I didn't say you, Bray.
And then a lot of guys that could do that.
Are there?
That's true. Well,
Alfie,
Russell
man.
Crowe.
I'm gonna go Alec Baldwin.
I like him too.
And Laurie.
He said
Laurie Metcalf.
He said she's amazing.
All right, I got Alec Baldwin, Laurie Metcalf.
And I had Kate Blanchett and
John Amos.
John Amos. It was Jimmy J.J. Walker. No, you know what? I'm going to stick with Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
Because think about Russell Crowe in The Insider. Think about like him when he sort of
I can only
dresses
think of
down.
Al Pacino standing in the ocean because that's where his cell phone worked. You can't do that. It's important to look professional to your clients, customers, partners. Placing regular stamps on your letters and packages will not do the trick, and leasing a postage meter is too expensive. Take my advice. Use Stamps.com instead. With Stamps.com, you can buy and print official U.S. postage using your own computer and printer. Print professional-looking postage directly onto envelopes, labels, even plain paper. Plus, Stamps.com will give you a digital scale so you can get exact postage for any letter or package the instant you need it. Right now, Stamps.com has a special offer for my listeners. Use my last name, Mohr, M-O-H-R, for a no-risk trial, plus $110 bonus offer. Includes the digital scale and up to $55 free postage. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. Click on the radio microphone at the top of the homepage and type in Mohr. That's Stamps.com. Enter M-O-H-R. Todd Stashwick, comic strip, Devil Inside.
Yes.
The best place to get that is at toddstashwick.com.
That's the only place to get it.
All right.
It's the only place, yeah. And you can click back. if you go to toddstashwick.com, you'll see a banner that says Devil Inside, and you click on that. You can go and click to chapter 1 and click back and read them all. So we have them all there. You can start from the very beginning and read episodes 1, and now we're already into, and there's 54 episodes in chapter 1, and we're already 30-some into chapter 2.
So then why would you have my primer be Frank Miller's Return, The Dark Knight Returns?
Because if you wanted to get into...
What about The Dark Knight? Why the
sequel? No, that's what it's called. That's the name of it.
The first one is called The Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Returns is the name of the Frank Miller comic that sort of rebooted Batman in so many ways, and it was the late 80s, and it's a great foray into a new way into familiar ground.
Now I'll ask you, because you're a comic book guy, professed geek, right?
Yep.
What's the comic book right now that people are yelling at their headphones that they're saying you chose the wrong one?
I don't know if
they're like fucking Iron Man. Is he Silver Surfer?
No, you can't. No, you can't. Nobody's going to dispute that. The
tweets are going to at
Todd Stashwick, they'll say Watchmen. Like the primers, if you're going, I want to foray in that doesn't feel overwhelming, because if you just jump into a comic book, like you said, it's a river that's been running and running and running. And now DC last year rebooted all of their titles, but it was sort of a soft reboot. But Dark Knight, nobody is going to dispute that is a great entry point to reading comics, period.
It seems like there's more,
It's a great entry point.
It seems like there's more comic books than there is. Like, if you said to somebody, if somebody said, what should I listen to musically? Mm-hmm. I personally would say, well, you just got to go Miles Davis kind of blue, and then we'll branch out to Abbey Road and the White Album, and we're going to hit the Ramones pretty quickly. Yeah. But it seems like with comic books, to me, maybe it's because I'm such a neophyte. Yeah. Like, there's the Silver Surfers, and there's the fucking Hulk, and there's Richie Rich. There's everything.
This is what
about Richie Rich? Is really what I want to know. This has all been a long, arduous walk. Who would you cast as
Richie Rich? Because they've done it once with Macaulay.
Yeah, so if I had to redo it now, I would get Buxton from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yes.
And I would have Richie Rich I would have a grown-up playing a child.
That's fantastic.
But not Buxton, probably. So I would have Richie Rich. Who would you have? Stall tactic I just threw out there.
Andy
Richter. I'm going with you.
Yeah.
You're the best.
That would be fun.
Andy Richter.
Yeah.
So this has been a really fun podcast. I knew, man, fucking Stashwick. I don't know why it took so long for me to get you in here. Maybe because I had to get up running on my own label.
That's fair.
But we've learned that we need Henry Winkler here more than we need you or me.
He should have his own podcast.
And if he does have his own podcast, it should be on Fake Mustache. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And please, Stashwick is one of the good guys. He's just really one of the guys that you always want to be around. Human pot we talk about a lot on this show. Billy Connolly is human pot. Michael McKean to me was human pot, just standing around him. Colin Quinn, powerless, human pot. Todd Stashwick, who knew Teddy Roosevelt invented spaghetti?
I did.
And where is your manatee coat?
I'm wearing it right now.
Oh, that's the same one.
It's the same one.
I don't know, because you put so many beads all over it. You ruined it.
I had to bedazzle it.
But it was a manatee coat. I don't even know where the eyes are.
But look at the caricature on the back.
Oh, my God. That is so... Calvin and Hobbes are bowing down at a cross with Mexican names.
Yes.
Who's Luz?
Not important.
All right.
Guy I took a bullet for.
Todd Stashwick, thank you for coming. And you'll come back?
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be weird if everybody always asks that. Just once I would Lano or Letterman go, and join us anytime. No. No, I will not.
No.
Sterling McLaughlin is a copywriter. And he's a no good son of a bitch.
Handsome as all get out, though.
He looks like Rivers Cuomo if Rivers Cuomo had a stroke.
You can take a shotgun blast standing. Yeah.
But that is a friend of Todd Stashwick's that's a huge fan of the podcast, so we tried to work him into the conversation a few times. And this would have been a longer podcast, but I have to pee.
All right!